Look, I am sorry I'm starting this video with this disgusting ad, but I have to say so many things about, women in gaming. Like, it's not just characters in gaming, female characters. I'm talking about, like, woke women in the gaming industry that like to keep ruining these things for other players to experience and have fun. Like this woman here, look how woke she is. Look how she dresses. Of course she's woke. And I know that background NPC has discussed this before, and I think there should be more women out there to speak freely about why isn't there more feminine characters in video games. Because remember, if a guy does it, he's misogynistic, but if a woman does it, it's a whole different thing. So what, we're not allowed to have beauty in video games anymore? Is that what's going on? This is not attractive. This is attractive. This beautiful femme fatale over here. She is borderline sexy. Why can't we have more characters like Bayonetta? Bayonetta is a perfect, ideal woman of beauty. I find it funny that when people realize that she was designed by a woman, those woke people they stay quiet. Like, I don't care if she's sexualized. I like to have sexualized characters in my games. You know why it's better? Because sex sells, okay? Like this one ad right here that woke bitches cannot shut up about. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this ad, people. I don't know what's going on. So if a guy gets sexualized, it's okay, but when a woman does it, it's wrong. Cloud from Final Fantasy VII gets a hand job, and nobody says anything about it. Yes, throughout the entirety of the game, Cloud gets sexualized. He gets like all the women, and nobody says anything about it. But when it's a woman, it's a big problem all of a sudden. Look, as much as this might sound creepy, but I will like to see a woman go through the same thing as Cloud right here. Even if she gets fingered, I will actually enjoy this scene too. Look, there's a difference between feminist and feminism. So with feminist, they just want they want to get rid of guys. They don't care about men. They just want women power. But feminism, they want equal rights. They want beauty. They do not care about, a bunch of woke stuff. Because as a woman myself, I love to see 2B's ass right here just walking from left to right and just staring at it. Look, call me a freak all you want, but I love to stare at her ass. Especially, you just want to slap it. The same thing goes with Bayonetta. I just like to stare at her walk a lot. Watching her ass go from left to right and it's just you want more of this. I want to see more of this. I don't care how much for freak I am. I want to see more. Same thing with Kane from Nier Replicant. If you stare at her for too much, she gets completely mad at you and she kicks you and she kills you. It's a fun little gimmick that they add, and it's very funny because they know their audiences. They know how perverted some people are. And let's not act like there's not female gamers out there that actually do the same thing, like myself, that just to be perverted in every way possible in their games. Look, there's a lot out there, but nowadays, people are so scared of making games because woke people do not shut up about this and that, about feminism and all that stuff. At this point, it's actually very fucking annoying, and the reason why I don't play Western games anymore. Yeah, I don't play Western games anymore. It's basically Japanese games or Chinese games. Those type of fun games that show, women being sexualized. They did the same thing to Rouge. Rouge is flat-chested now. I don't want my Rouge to be flat. I want her to have big titties. There's nothing wrong with having big titties. Yes, I know she's a bad, but I don't care. That's one thing I loved about Rouge, is because she was different from the other girls. She had, titty physics in the Sonic Adventure 2 game, and now she doesn't. And this is coming from a flat-chested woman, okay? I love my titties to jiggle around on my face and, just... it's weird, but you know what I mean. How much are they gonna downgrade women in video games? So we can't have revealing clothing on characters anymore. I don't want my characters to look ugly. I want them to look pretty. This is why I draw, when I draw my characters, I need them to look pretty. If they look ugly, then I'm gonna erase it and I'm gonna have to start all over. When you create a woman, you can have an amazing backstory and also be sexualized at the same time. Bayonetta has that. Velvet from Tales of Berseria actually has a compelling backstory, and she has these revealing clothing, and that what makes her so perfect. Fucking dub over here. I hate this ad so much. They say that they want, body positivity, but when it's big titties or a nice ass, all of a sudden it's not body positivity. You guys are being hypocrites for saying that. Look, I don't have a problem with these women. What I have a problem is that these women are woke. They're very woke. For them, it's okay for their type of body to be in a video game, but when it's women with a nice titty and a nice ass, it's actually a bad thing. They're just jealous because they're not that type of person. Look, I don't want to see a fat, ugly woman like this one right here in any of my video games. It's unattractive, it's disgusting, nobody wants to see this. If you really want body positivity, you will tell these people to go out and exercise, because they're gonna die at an early age if they don't do that. Look, as fucked up as that sounds, it's true. They're gonna end up dying at an early age if they don't go out and exercise. That's why a lot of people don't play Western games anymore, because they don't make beautiful characters anymore. You don't have to be overly sexualized. Like I said before, Aerith from Final Fantasy VII is a very cute character. She has a cute face and a cute personality, and a lot of people like her. Yeah, Square Enix makes a lot of cute characters. Terra from Final Fantasy VI is one of them. Tifa is one of them. The same thing goes to like Atlas with their Persona games. They make amazing female characters. Anta Kamiki is one of them. Yeah, Anna from Persona 5 is actually one of my favorite female characters ever. So back then when, game developers were not shy about, over-sexualizing characters, but nowadays it's actually a bad thing. Because look at Stellar Blade. I have not played this game and I want to so badly, but the thing is that like when this game was being announced, people were very negative about it, and when it got released, all the gooners wanted to buy it. And I don't blame them. This game looks fucking incredible. It has titty physics. Finally, a game where titties just flop all over your screen. I can't believe there's people who hate this game. I haven't even played it, but I want to play it so badly. Look, to all the gooners or perverts right there, just play the game and ignore those people, because those people are just pieces of shit. Miserable pieces of shit that have nothing going on with their lives and have no creativity whatsoever. Because there's woke women like this who do not like other people calling out on this anti-woke stuff, and they just complain about it, and you can literally tell this is a woke person. She's probably the reason why we don't get ass or titties in games anymore. So anyway, fuck these woke liberals. I mean, they're just worthless pieces of shit that just do not care about anybody but themselves. So anyway, if you enjoy this video, thanks for watching, and I don't know if I'm gonna make another video about this. Maybe at some point, but not at the moment. So, thanks for watching.